We all know the story, don't we? 300 fearless Spartans standing against a million-strong Persian army at the narrow pass of Thermopylae. It's a tale etched into our collective consciousness, a symbol of impossible courage, a defiant last stand against overwhelming odds. Greece, 480 BCE. The mighty Achaemenid Empire, led by the ambitious Emperor Xerxes I, casts its colossal shadow over the fledgling city-states of Greece. The popular image is vivid. King Leonidas, his elite 300, a wall of bronze and muscle, ready to die for freedom. But what if I told you that this iconic narrative, as compelling as it is only part of the truth? What if the real story, the one brimming with forgotten heroes, strategic genius, and a scale far grander than popular culture suggests, is even more incredible? Prepare to have your understanding of one of history's most celebrated battles challenged. We're about to peel back the layers of myth and legend passed down through millennia to uncover what truly happened at Thermopylae. The common narrative, while powerful, often overlooks crucial details, historical inaccuracies, and the contributions of countless others. Did 300 Spartans really face 5 million Persians alone? What was the true scale of the forces involved, and what was the nature of this epic confrontation? Get ready to question everything you thought you knew. To understand Thermopylae, we must first understand the Spartans themselves. Far from being simple, muscle-bound warriors, Spartan society was a unique, often brutal, and entirely military-focused machine. From birth, boys were groomed for battle, undergoing the rigorous agoge training system that forged them into the disciplined, formidable soldiers known as the homoioi, or equals. Their lives were dedicated to the state, their identities intertwined with their martial prowess. This extreme dedication fostered unparalleled discipline and courage, but it also painted a complex picture, often misrepresented as simple invincibility or moral purity. They were not just soldiers, they were a way of life, an entire culture dedicated to the art of war. Now let's turn our gaze to the other side, the Persian Empire. The image of the barbarian horde is a gross disservice to one of history's most sophisticated and powerful empires. The Achaemenid Empire was a sprawling, multi-ethnic entity stretching from Egypt to India, governed by a highly organized bureaucracy and possessing advanced technology for its time. Their army was a mosaic of diverse nationalities, Egyptians, Assyrians, Scythians, and more, all united under the banner of Xerxes I. This was not a chaotic mob, but a well-oiled logistical marvel, capable of deploying vast forces across immense distances. To underestimate their organization, engineering, or strategic thinking would be a grave mistake. The historical accounts reveal that the Greek forces at Thermopylae were far more diverse and numerous than just the 300 Spartans. While Leonidas and his elite Spartans formed the spearhead, they were joined by contingents from various other Greek city-states, including the Thespians, Thebans, and Phocians, among others. Thermopylae, meaning hot gates, was a narrow coastal pass, a natural choke point where the mountains met the sea. This geographical feature was critical, allowing a smaller, disciplined force to hold off a much larger one, neutralizing the Persian numerical advantage, at least initially. The road to Thermopylae began with the Persian desire for revenge and expansion. Decades earlier, the Greeks had humiliated Persia at the Battle of Marathon. Xerxes I, heir to Darius I, sought to avenge this defeat and absorb Greece into his vast empire. The Greek city-states, often fractious and at odds with each other, found themselves facing a common existential threat. This external pressure forced a reluctant unity, albeit a fragile one. As the Persian invasion loomed, the Greeks sought guidance from the venerable Oracle of Delphi, whose ambiguous prophecies often left more questions than answers, yet profoundly influenced their decisions. This was not merely a battle, it was a clash of civilizations, a fight for the very soul of Greece. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. The true numbers surrounding Thermopylae are a fascinating testament to the fog of war and the embellishment of legend. While the image of 300 Spartans standing alone against 1 million Persians is iconic, historical estimates paint a more nuanced picture. Modern historians generally agree that the Persian army, though undeniably massive for its era, likely numbered closer to 100, Azusound to 300. Zautuazu combatants and support personnel, not the fantastical 5 million often cited. Moving and supplying such a force across land and sea was an unprecedented logistical feat, a testament to the Achaemenid Empire's organizational prowess, but even they operated within the constraints of ancient capabilities. Crucially, the Greek forces were far from just 300 Spartans. By the time the final stand occurred, the initial Greek contingent at Thermopylae comprised approximately 7 Iwazuazran soldiers from various city-states. These included 400 Thebans, 700 Thespians, and contingents from Arcadia, Corinth, Phocis, and others. The Spartans, led by King Leonidas, were indeed the elite corps, but they were part of a much larger, albeit still vastly outnumbered, Greek resistance. The challenges of accurately estimating ancient army sizes are immense. Sources like Herodotus often rounded figures or used rhetorical exaggeration to emphasize the scale of the conflict. However, even with conservative estimates, the ratio of Persian to Greek forces remained daunting, solidifying the battle's legendary status. Leonidas's strategic genius in choosing Thermopylae was paramount. The narrow pass, barely wide enough for a single chariot at points, funneled the vast Persian army into a confined space. This nullified their numerical superiority, preventing them from deploying their full force simultaneously. The phalanx formation, a tightly packed wall of shields and spears characteristic of Greek hoplites, was perfectly suited for such terrain. Each Persian soldier, regardless of their numbers, could only engage a few Greeks at a time. Leonidas understood that the terrain was his greatest ally, transforming a potential rout into a defensive stronghold. His leadership was not just about inspiring courage, it was about brilliant tactical deployment. The Persian military, while vast, had its own strengths and weaknesses. Their army was a diverse collection of infantry, cavalry, and archers. The Immortals, the elite Persian fighting force, were formidable, but still fought as individual combatants, not in the cohesive phalanx formation. Persian archers could rain down arrows, but their effectiveness was limited in the narrow pass against heavily armored hoplites. Their primary weakness lay in their equipment and tactics compared to the Greeks. Persian shields were often lighter, their spears shorter, and their armor less comprehensive than the bronze and heavy shields of the Greek hoplites. Logistically, feeding and watering hundreds of thousands of men and their animals across rugged terrain was a constant, monumental challenge, making sustained assaults difficult. However, the tide of the battle turned dramatically with the intervention of Ephialtes. This Malian Greek, driven by a desire for reward, betrayed his countrymen by revealing the existence of the Anopeia Path, a goat track winding over the mountains behind the main pass. This secret route, initially guarded by the Phocians, bypassed the main Greek defenses. The Phocians, caught by surprise by the advancing Immortals, failed to hold the path, allowing the Persians to outflank Leonidas's position. Ephialtes' motivations remain debated. Was it pure greed, or perhaps a desperate attempt to curry favor with the overwhelming Persian power? Regardless, his actions irrevocably sealed the fate of the defenders. Simultaneously, a critical naval engagement unfolded at Artemisium, off the coast of Euboea. The Greek fleet, composed mainly of Athenian and Corinthian ships, engaged the much larger Persian navy. The objective was to prevent the Persian fleet from sailing south to outflank the land forces at Thermopylae, and to protect the retreat route for the Greek land army. Just like at Thermopylae, the narrow straits at Artemisium negated some of the Persian numerical advantage, allowing the smaller, more agile Greek triremes to hold their own. The naval battle was fierce and inconclusive, but it crucially delayed the Persian fleet, buying precious time for the evacuation of Athens and the consolidation of Greek defenses further south. The outcomes of both Thermopylae and Artemisium were intrinsically linked. The land battle could not hold indefinitely without naval support, and vice versa. When news of the Anopeia Path's breach reached Leonidas, he made a fateful decision. He ordered the main body of the Greek forces to retreat, preserving them to fight another day. Leonidas, however, remained with his 300 Spartans, the 700 Thespians who voluntarily stayed, and the 400 Thebans who, according to Herodotus, were compelled to stay. This final stand was not a suicidal act of futility, but a strategic sacrifice. It bought critical time for the main Greek army to withdraw, for the navy to regroup, and for the remaining Greek city-states to prepare their defenses. The Spartans and Thespians fought to the last man, their bravery immortalized. The Thebans, however, eventually surrendered, some even switching allegiance, a detail often omitted from popular accounts. This was more than just Spartans. It was a testament to varied forms of courage and desperation in the face of absolute doom. The sacrifice at Thermopylae, though a tactical defeat, ignited a firestorm of Greek resolve. The immediate aftermath saw the Persian juggernaut, led by Xerxes I, sweep further into Greece. Athens, evacuated by its citizens, was sacked and burned, a stark demonstration of Persian might. Yet, this very destruction fueled a fierce determination. The strategic delay brought by Leonidas and his men was crucial. It allowed the Greek fleet, battered but not broken from Artemisium, to regroup and prepare for the decisive naval confrontation at Salamis. There, against overwhelming odds, the agile Greek triremes, under the brilliant leadership of Themistocles, decimated the Persian navy. This victory crippled Xerxes' supply lines and forced him to retreat with a significant portion of his army, leaving his general Mardonius to continue the land campaign. The following year, at the Battle of Plataea, the combined Greek land forces achieved a resounding victory, effectively ending the Second Persian invasion of Greece. Thermopylae, despite its tragic end, became a symbol of resistance, a powerful morale booster that solidified Greek unity against a common foe. From this crucible of conflict, the legend of the 300 Spartans was born, a narrative carefully crafted and amplified by ancient historians, most notably Herodotus. While Herodotus meticulously documented the broader Greek contributions, his account also highlighted the unparalleled bravery of the Spartans, giving rise to a story that would resonate for millennia. The political and cultural reasons for emphasizing Spartan sacrifice were multifaceted. Sparta, with its rigorous military training and unwavering discipline, represented an ideal of martial prowess that served as a powerful propaganda tool for other Greek city-states seeking to inspire their own citizens. The narrative of a small, dedicated force holding back a vast tyrannical empire became a foundational myth for Western civilization, embodying ideals of freedom, courage, and self-sacrifice. It wasn't just history, it was a carefully curated tale designed to inspire. This powerful narrative has been relentlessly reinterpreted and reimagined across centuries, deeply embedding Thermopylae in popular culture. From ancient plays to modern blockbusters, the story of the 300 Spartans has been retold countless times. Films like 300 and Frank Miller's graphic novel, while visually stunning and dramatically compelling, often prioritize heroic drama and stylized violence over historical accuracy, further solidifying the myth of the lone Spartan stand. These adaptations frequently simplify the complex historical context, reducing the Persian Empire to a monolithic, barbaric enemy and overlooking the crucial contributions of other Greek city-states. The impact of these portrayals on public perception is profound, often leading to a romanticized and historically inaccurate understanding of the battle, where the nuances of strategy, politics, and the diverse makeup of the Greek forces are lost. Yet, beyond the battlefield and the layers of myth, Thermopylae offers timeless lessons. It underscores the profound power of strategic defense, demonstrating how a smaller, well-positioned force can nullify the numerical superiority of a larger adversary through intelligent use of terrain. It highlights the critical importance of morale and inspired leadership in adversity, showing how Leonidas's unwavering resolve galvanized his troops. The enduring human fascination with sacrifice and heroism, the willingness to stand for an ideal against overwhelming odds, remains a powerful draw, reflecting universal human values. Connecting this ancient struggle to our modern lives, the themes of Thermopylae resonate with surprising relevance. We are constantly confronted with overwhelming forces, be they societal, political, or personal. The story encourages us to consider the power of unity, the importance of strategic thinking, and the courage to stand for what is right, even when the odds seem insurmountable. Crucially, it serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of critical thinking when consuming historical narratives. The ongoing debate about historical accuracy versus myth-making isn't just about ancient Greece. It's about how we understand our past, and by extension, our present. In conclusion, the true story of Thermopylae is far more complex, nuanced, and ultimately more compelling than the simplified myth. It was not just 300 Spartans, but a diverse coalition of Greeks fighting for their homeland. It was a strategic masterclass, a pivotal naval engagement, and a profound act of sacrifice that reshaped the course of Western civilization. The enduring power of truth and myth lies in their intertwined nature. The myth captures the spirit, while the truth reveals the intricate tapestry of human courage, cunning, and consequence. Let us always question, research, and seek a deeper understanding of history, for in its depths lie lessons that continue to illuminate our world.